So you want to style celebrities, but you don't know where to start and how to go about it? Well, since I have been styling top celebrities like Selena Gomez, Sarah Hyland, Bella Thorne, Irina Shayk, I will tell you what were the biggest mistakes I made as a newbie celebrity stylist. Hi, my name is Basia and I help aspiring stylists enter the styling industry. If you want to become a stylist, grab my free cheat sheet guide with tons of resources for aspiring stylists, and I will link it in the description below. Also, for styling industry related content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I post a new video, which is every Monday. In this video, I will tell you what mistakes to avoid in order to start styling celebrities. So let's get started. Mistake number one, tone down your huge expectations. Now, when I started in the styling industry, styling celebrities wasn't very popular. As a matter of fact, there were like very little events happening outside of the big ones like Oscars, Emmys, and Golden Globes. So a lot of big stars would either contact brands and designers personally in order to borrow a dress for the event, or their management or like their publicists would do that for them. So now the celebrity styling industry kick up a notch since then, and now every star in Hollywood, big or small, has a stylist to help them pick outfits for the event. So now when I started in the styling industry, I had huge expectations and wanted to style big names and only work with A-class celebrities. So my goal was to style, let's say, like Jennifer Aniston, Beyonce. So every time like an up-and-coming musician or like TV actress wanted to hire me, I was pretty disappointed simply because I had huge expectations in terms of wanting to only work with the biggest stars in Hollywood. And that was the biggest mistake, because what I learned was, as much as like there's nothing wrong with reaching high, starting low and growing was the right move. So the key to become a successful celebrity stylist and start styling like top stars, you have to start styling actresses and musicians who are unknown yet, and you can grow with them. That's exactly what I did. So now, when I started to style Selena Gomez, no one really knew who she was. She was like 15 years old, and her TV show, it wasn't like even airing yet. So I stuck with her and was building her image for many, many years. But because I met her when she wasn't known yet, I saw a huge potential in her, and I knew that she would be successful one day, and that decision totally paid off. Now, the more she became known, and the more I could leverage the fact that I was styling one of like the top stars, and I was able to get new celebrities as clients. So if you want to start working as a celebrity stylist, actually starting to style up and coming actresses and musicians are the best way to grow, simply because you can stick with them, help them create an image, and that will slowly build your career as a celebrity stylist. Mistake number two, I would say no to a job. Imagine that. So when you are just starting in the styling industry, and it really doesn't matter if you want to work as a personal stylist or like a celebrity stylist, you should take every job, every opportunity that it's in front of you. Like, you never know what might happen, and if that job might bring other opportunities, and you might be recommended to another client. There were a lot of opportunities that I didn't take advantage of simply because I just didn't see a potential with that particular job. So you might be in a position when you are already established in the industry and have a solid clientele base, but that really shouldn't stop you from working with every possible client that it's coming your way. You never know what might happen, who can recommend you to another client, and you might actually get a repeat business from that client as well. So when you are just starting, you should grab every possible job and an opportunity that is in front of you. Mistake number three, I undercharge for my services. Now, there's a big difference in terms of how celebrity stylists charge for their services. It all really depends on the job, but majority of the time, a stylist will charge a day rate for their work. So now, sometimes there will be all all-in budget, meaning a stylist will receive a budget that will include a rate, a wardrobe budget, and expenses. Now, that's the most difficult way of getting paid, simply because you have to divide the whole budget and allocate money for clothing, for your day rate, and for expenses that you might have. So now, I remember a job that I took where a client had all-in budget. So by the end of this job, I not only spent so much money on clothes for my client, I had huge expenses, and I worked like 3 weeks on that job, and I was left with literally no cash for my services. That was totally ridiculous. So if you ever will be offered a job with a budget all in, here's what you have to do. First of all, establish what is your day rate and how many days you will work on that job. Then you have to realize how much realistically you will spend on clothes, and don't forget about your expenses either. Now then, if the budget makes absolutely no sense, you should go back to your client to discuss more realistic budget. Now, you have to keep in mind that when you are just starting in the industry and you got your first celebrity client, most likely you will be working for a very small rate, and very often for free. So I've done it many times in my career, and you should expect to work for a very low rate or for free when you are just starting to style. Mistake number 4, I overbooked myself and didn't hire an assistant. Now, that was the most lucky decision I could ever make. Having an extra pair of hands to help you when you have multiple clients is the only reasonable solution. Well, I didn't do it, and I lost a client because of this. So now, what really happened was, and I had 2 clients attending a red carpet event, and then I had to go get them ready almost in the same time. So what happened was that when I get to my one of my first client, and I had to zip her up in a dress, and I left and I went to my second client. A dress on my first client broke, and there was absolutely nobody that could fix it. So that experience taught me to always cover myself just in case of any situations that might happen. So now, when you are just starting, obviously you don't really need an assistant. You'll be able to do everything on your own. But as you grow and you get more than one job, like in 1 week, you should hire an assistant to make sure that you don't end up in the same situation than I did years ago. Mistake number 5, I have not connected with publicists. Now, in order to be hired by celebrities, you need to have relationships with publicists, simply because celebrities' PR team is the one who always hires glam team, which is a stylist, a makeup artist, and a hairstylist. So now, almost every star in Hollywood will have a PR team that handles their public image. So in order to grow and start styling stars, you need to meet as many publicists as possible. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, don't reach high. So don't go to publicists who represent top A-list stars. You want to reach out to small boutique PR companies who rep up-and-coming stars. And I will link a website that lists celebrities reps and their PR management, so you can contact them personally and offer your services. So now you know exactly which mistakes I made as a newbie celebrity stylist. Now don't forget to grab my free cheat sheet for aspiring stylists that will get you started in the styling industry. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I post a new video, which is every Monday. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.